So I have only 2 slides here. This is a concrete implementation of what was proposed. So just to get the clear idea on how the system can be integrated with something that already exists. Basically, we are talking about data services. That's the first thing that we have in mind. So every business and especially banks today are mostly data, clients data, the business data, transaction values, and so on. And they have various IT systems in-house that store the data. What we propose is that we can integrate risk box. This is how we named the solution that implements risk accounting methodology, and it's via a blueprint. So basically, we don't see this solution as an independent box. It can be, and this is how I'm gonna demo it today. But the main point is that we make it part of an already existing operation. Yeah. So this is the architecture diagram, the first thing. Let's see if I can get here. Now I'm gonna stop the sharing and I'm gonna share with you the application in itself. Okay. Let's try to do the magic again. And this one should be the screen now. Yeah. Okay. So what you see right now, it's what we designed as a demo. I think with John Adams we did some tests. See if I still remember the password. Oh yeah, good. This is coherent with what Paul already presented and implements exactly the method described by Professor Hughes in his book. So those are our products. Then we have the risk types. Here in particular have processing risk, trading risk, lending risk, selling, funding, interest rate risk. The EUF, the famous first factors that we take into account. So they are declined, they are specified by risk type. So for each product and for each risk type, we have an EUF, depending on how the risk affects the product. For example, for commercial loans, we don't have trading risk, and we don't trade that. Then you have the categories, ERCA categories. And as Paul already mentioned, we have the main type, which is generic, and then we have the technical, which goes to all detailed parts, detailed operations of the bank. Then we have the business components. You can see the business component as a one-to-one mapping to the HR org chart or to the operational org chart of the institution or the business. And the last part that is visible here is the mapping of business components to products. In particular, we have one product, and there are a couple of services that are dealing with that product, that are interacting with it. So, for example, for FX forwards, you have the pre-trade deal validation, and then the execution, and then the cash management, and so on. So this is what you have in this table. There are a couple of some other factors that are not shown here, but what we wanted to show you in the first place is that you can really customize and adapt this method to your own company, to your own institution, and also you can put your own factors in here. So it's not fixed, it's not something that it's hard-coded. Then we have the most interesting part, which is the transactional part. It means for the values, by the way, the values are in US dollars, but of course they can be accommodated in pounds, euros, or whatever currency you would like. This is just for the sake of the example. So basically, you have a product and a date when the transaction took place, and then the exact value of the transaction. As you can see here, we have modern amounts of money, yeah, and this input is very simple here. It means you can do it by hand, or you can use an API. If you remember for the previous slide, you can integrate the input data with some other system, operational systems. The next part, which is the most complex one, is the part consisting with the questionnaire. So basically, we evaluate on how the organization, the maturity level of the organization, or how much organization operates. It means that this person, by the way, I took the United States presidents. It was much simpler. We have like 43 business components, so it almost matches the number of presidents from US. Yeah. And in this case, Mr. Adams, it's responsible for two business components. One, it's both of them are in transaction processing, and one is deal structuring, and the other one is cash management. And next to it, we see the ERCSA categories that are handled, that are involved in the evaluation, operational evaluation of this service. Here we have the history of the questionnaire, of the evaluations, the quarterly evaluation that have been done till now. One is not finished here, the current quarter, so 2022 quarter 4, and one is in progress. Basically, what we should have at the end of the quarter is to have everything done, as you can see it here, and in order to be capable to capture the data and make the computations. Let's have a look. So if we want to continue with an existing questionnaire, basically we click on continue there and the button, and then we can fill in the questionnaire. There are two major aspects here. One aspect is that you get the score immediately. It means depending on your evaluation of the actual situation in your company, you can see how good you are doing. So it's between 0 and 100, the score. For example, you get 0, it means it's not the best score. And if you are on 100, you are the best. There are also questions about the way you deal with your HR. There are also some regulatory questions, mandatory, and so on. Let's leave it like that. So the next step after we finish with the questionnaire, it's a long one, this one. We can finalize it or save it for later. When you finalize this one, this is now done, and let's go very quickly through a new questionnaire. And this is number 2, and with people, maybe we should have more people here. Like, let's go to 20, the size of the team. Okay, this is how it's done here. Moderately automated. So I'm just gonna go to finalize, not to waste your time, but I hope you got the idea of how this works. Yeah, everything was saved successfully, so I hope we can move forward. So the next step after putting data in, so we have transactions. This is one input that is on daily basis, and this operational evaluation, which is on quarterly basis. By the way, it doesn't mean that you have to wait till the end of the quarter to get the reports. Reports are immediate. So one type of report that you get in here it's the inherent risk calculation. And this is straightforward. It means you have the product, you have the EUF, which is given in the previous table. You have the transformation. There is a formula behind the transformation from the value, the actual value, to the value bandwidth. And then this is the computed inherent risk. And there are some other reports here that are internal reports. So this is what we have as user interface. And the next step, which is the most important, I think, for the business. So let's share this one. It's to display reports. And this is actually what we are aiming for, in the sense that once you have your value input into the system and you perform the evaluation, questionnaire, you can get those reports out of the system. Okay, so this is the summary by product, and then you have a detail by each product. Yeah, FX forwards, and you can see the components, business components here, and just what Paul said, you have the inherent risk, and then you have the risk mitigation, and you have the residual risk. As a quick example here, so what we see right now in the real life is this one. It's 397, which is quite a big value. And actually the actual exposure to risk is 196. And this is because we are capable from the questionnaire to evaluate how much your organization is actually exposed to risk. And this information is not available right now freely, in the sense that only we can provide this information. And
Dragos, have you got the right slide there? We're looking at you've got the categories slide. We're looking at a product slide.
Yes.
Okay, we're, on the screen we've got RCSA categories.
Yes. So this is yeah. So we have the categories here, and the two values here are actually the cumulated, the aggregated score. This is linked to the maximum exposure, which is linked to the inherent risk, and the actual aggregate score is the actual risk. Yeah, this is linked to the actual risk. There is also another type of report that, and this is my last part, and then I'll leave Peter to continue. One second, this one, too many screens. Is this the right one? Nope. Let's find the right one. One second. What actually happened here? Yes. Now, do you see the screen with the categories?
Yes, that's yeah, that's the one you had before.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. I was looking at the other one. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here. The whole point is that we can produce this data, and they are accessible. They can be used by the management. Also, they can, as you can see, they are clearly possible to be in an accounting system. And also, we can trace them from quarter to quarter. A quick reminder, inside the questionnaire, you can actually see what actions can improve your score. So it's clear that if you implement full automation in your processes, you get a better score, and it's a better control for everything that you want to control from the risk point of view. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here with the presentation, and don't hesitate if you have any questions. Thank you very much.
Right. So Yeah, thank you very much. And I welcome your questions in the question session. Looking forward to hearing your take of this.